Good morning, and welcome to Eternity Speaks. I'm your host, Reverend Bill Eggleston, and I hope everyone's had a great week this week and is doing well. I'm sick this week. I'll say that. It's not just allergies this time. So if I sound a little under the weather, it's because I am. Uh, if I got a cough, I'll try to turn my head away from the mic a little bit. Uh, at any given time, I'd like to talk about the importance of taking care of one another this week. Not just because I'm sick, but just in general. At any given time, someone is in need. I know I've mentioned this sort of thing before, but I feel it's very important, so I'm gonna say it again. Whether they're in need of something like a ride to work, a sympathetic ear, or even something as simple as a smile, it's the little things that can make a huge difference in people's lives. Just think how you feel. For example, when you get home after a tough day at work, and you're greeted by your dog. Okay, a lot of people have dogs. Everybody feels different about dogs, but I know my dog Rufus. He's quite the character. He always seems to know when when I'm not feeling right or when things aren't going well, and he's right there for me. Now, your dog hasn't seen you all day. Okay, so they're all excited and ecstatic to see you, and he's not excited to see you because you owe him something or because he wants to tell you what the cat did while you were gone. Maybe maybe he just needs to go outside. But anyway, uh, it's he's excited to see you because he loves you and he missed you. Just think for a second how that makes you feel inside. Your stresses seem to melt away with each lick to the face, don't they? Uh, you see, that dog loves you unconditionally. There's no hatred there, no discontent, no malice. He's not mad at you. He just everything he does is about you. You're the most important person in his life. You're his whole world. There's only pure love there. And that same kind of love is what God has for all of us. There's no purer love than that. Uh, that same love should be shared with each other as well. Uh, the level of caring and understanding should be spread as far and wide as you possibly can to everyone that you encounter. Remember that just because someone has the appearance of having their life together doesn't always mean they do. Sometimes they're just really good at putting on a happy face for those around them. But internally, they're struggling. Even I'm struggling financially. I mean, the bank wants my house. I mean, emotionally, there's always something. Physically, I'm sick right now. My computer is starting to go. I got to replace that. But even the engine went in my car, and I prayed about that one. They said I needed a new engine in the car. I'm like, all right. So I prayed about it, and then I started looking online, trying to figure out how much this was going to cost me. And it turns out that my engine was covered under some sort of weird warranty, and I got a free engine out of it. I had no idea. So it's important to always have hope. Always pray. Always keep that in mind that God's looking out for us. Uh, my point is that there's difficult times that affect everyone. Sometimes a simple smile or a kind word or gesture can make all the difference in the world to those people that are struggling and literally pull them from a very dark place. Just think about that story that came out not that long ago of the bus driver that was driving down the street and she was crossing a bridge and there was a man on the bridge and she stopped. She could have just driven by. Maybe he was just looking at the scenery or whatever, but she realized that he was on the other side of the rail. So she stopped and she talked to him and she was able to talk him right back over that rail and she saved his life all because she stopped. Um, you never know what your words or gestures could mean to someone. Um, just like I said, a smile in the hallway, walking down the hall, just it can mean the world to somebody. And remember to, excuse me, I'll remember to always be patient with others. You never know what they're going through, especially these days. Like the server at your favorite restaurant may seem a bit short tempered. And what you don't know is at home, things are just falling apart for them. Uh, the best thing to do is don't return that negativity. Leave a bigger tip. that might be something that would really help. That might be just what they've been praying for. Gas station clerk might seem annoyingly more chipper and talkative than normal. Meanwhile, the bank's threatening to foreclose on their business. Uh, Not everybody handles stress the same way. Some people hide it better than others. Some people go into a deep, dark place and get depressed, and you might be that shining light that helps bring them out of it. Uh, Remember to always be mindful with your words and your actions and how they affect those around you. Um, and even if you find yourself in a situation that you're able to help someone, like sometimes there's just a you just happen to have that unique ability to help them with whatever they're going through. Maybe you're a professional in the field that they're having an issue with. Maybe they're having uh, relationship advice or something. They need something, and you just happen to know a lot about that. One little thing can that can just mean the world to them. But if you have the ability to help someone, by all means, help them. Uh, but don't do it for potential reward or anything. Just do it just for the sake of helping them, because they may have some special skill set that they can help you with. Uh, you never know when you may be the answer to someone's prayers. Uh, everyone's got a everyone's got a need, and you never know what that need is or how you can help with it. But the most important thing is just help everybody when you can. If you have the ability to help, you you pretty much have the responsibility to help. Uh, do everything you can for one another, and look after one another, take care of one another, and just be there for each other. And with that, I'd like to turn the show over to Barry and our spirit guest, St. Luke.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So sorry you're feeling bad. You got through it all right.
Yeah, I didn't go into a coughing fit like I expected. I
Well,
was surprised.
life is good.
Yeah.
So anyway, this morning we're going to have a message from St. Luke. And I have no idea what his message is going to be. So we're all going to
Okay.
be surprised together.
All right.
So we might as well get her started since you're having problems talking anyway.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I am very pleased to be able to talk once again. As you all know, I had the honor of walking the earth at the same time as our Lord. Our Lord was one of the most caring people that you will ever find. He cared about everyone. He cared about the smallest animal that was around him. When he saw people suffering, he would often just simply cure them. We did not know it at the time, but he was God. He was reincarnated. That was God incarnate on earth when Jesus was here. Our Lord never told us that. He knew that it would complicate the messages that he was trying to bring. Keep in mind that in those days, the Romans worshiped many gods. He did not want to become one of those gods. He felt that if the people knew his true identity, that he would be considered the same as one of the many Roman gods. And that was the last thing he wanted. What he wanted was to bring the people the truth. He spoke very simply. He said that if you live a good life, you'll join me in heaven. He said that you must treat others as you want to be treated. I don't know if you realize it or not, but that is the basis for all the world religions. Keep in mind that God started all of the world religions. He sent his messengers back, and he sent them to bring messages that would adapt to the areas in which they lived. Jesus knew Christianity was not going to be the religion of choice in many of the countries. He sent back Muhammad to Arabia. Muhammad founded the Islamic religion. It was a religion suited to the people of the area. Jesus lived in Judea. That was the home of the Jewish population at that time. He knew that he could convert some of the people of the Jewish faith to the new religion of which he spoke. Think about what it was like when there was no Christianity. That is exactly what it was like before Jesus began his ministries. It was a great void. Yes, the Jewish people understood the one God, but they were waiting for the Messiah. God chose the time that he did to send Jesus back because he realized that the people needed to have a different type of faith. He knew the Romans would resent what he was speaking. And yes, he knew the Romans were going to kill him eventually. Jesus knew everything about his life. He knew he would suffer and die on the cross. But he did not ever let that affect his message. Jesus spoke simply of love. When you looked into his eyes, you truly understood that this was indeed a rare individual. Even the Romans knew that he was special. Of course, the members of the Jewish ruling class resented his presence because they did not want anyone to be considered the king of the Jews. They wanted their wealth and power. If they allowed Jesus to continue in life, they knew that their power would be undermined as well. We had the honor of being with our Lord, but you too have the honor of having the energy of God in your heart. I know many people are saying, that cannot be. If I had the energy of God in my heart, I would know it. I would have faith. I would know that God truly exists. I would know many things. Well, let me assure you this. You do truly have that energy, but you need faith. Without faith, you can have no idea just truly what God is. There are many of you in this modern time that are speaking against God. That is something for which you will be judged when you return. And as we tell you every week, you will truly return. Death is part of the master plan for humans. That is how we get to give you new life plans and address the lessons that you have to learn. Now there are civilizations on other planets that have truly accepted all of our God's teachings. They live very long lives because they do not need to be reprogrammed, using your modern terminology. I want each of you today to go out and help one person. If that person that you help goes out and helps a person, and that person helps someone else, then you have reached many, many people. I know you've heard the saying that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Well, that's true. Each movement has to have a beginning. How the movement ends depends on how many of the steps that you take on that journey. The journey of speaking the words of God is a very difficult path. Many people resent the fact that you know and love God. It is only through the love of God that humans can evolve satisfactorily. There is no way that a civilization can continue to exist if all that it believes in is brutality and hatred. Each week I tell you that anger and hatred do no good. Anger and hatred is returned by those upon which you show those emotions. They go out and show anger towards others. Maybe it is a husband that lets anger affect him to the point that he beats his wife. The child sees that and believes that that is the way of things. And when that child marries, he will, in all probability, beat his wife as well, and the chain continues. Break the chain of hatred and anger. Show that you truly care for others. Do not let the mission of following God interfere with your desire to help others. You will face ridicule. When we walked the earth with Jesus, we faced massive ridicule. The Romans resented us because we were not speaking to their gods. The Jewish people resented us because they did not believe that the King of Jews had arrived. The average person that we spoke to was uneducated. They were just simply trying to raise their families. They were fishermen, they were carpenters. They did what they needed to do to exist. When Jesus spoke to them, he gave them hope. He told them that when they passed from this earth, that they would join him in heaven. And he described heaven as this miraculous place that was so different from their environment on earth. His words gave them hope, and hope led them to speaking of his teachings and spreading his words so that others could have hope as well. You are living in very difficult times. Today, there's fighting going on in Europe. Who knows what will come out of that? It could affect the world. But what you need is hope. You need faith. You need faith that God will guide the warring parties towards peace once more. God truly wants humans to advance. To advance, they must become less warlike. They must be more loving. They must be more caring. And they have got to put hatred and anger out of their hearts. Each week, you heard that God created evil. He did that as a test for humans, just as he gave humans free will. He wants each human to use his free will to drive out the dark energy. Dark energies, or hatred and anger, however you want to refer to them, can be beat. You can beat them. When someone angers you, step back and think. Do not simply just react with anger as well. As the Holy Spirits tell you each week, living a good life is common sense. Jesus himself has told you in his messages that if you do unto others as you would have them do unto you, there would be absolutely no need to pray for forgiveness. Think about that. Think about that and live your life accordingly. Today can be the first day of the new journey of your lifetime. As you hear me speak, think about how much happier you would be if you just simply followed the words of my message. My message is the same as that of Jesus. Every message that you hear that comes out of Barry's mouth will emulate the teachings of God. There is only one God, and there is only one true path to advancing in the realms of his heaven. That is doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, showing love and caring to others, helping as many people as you can. There are those of you that have accumulated great wealth. Use that wealth to help others. I can guarantee you that that wealth will not go with you when you pass. I do not want you to fear death. Death can be the greatest day of your life because you will truly return home. This life that you're living as a human is not home. This life as a human is a test. You're tested each day with hatred and anger. You're tested with grief. When God created humans, he arranged that all humans would have to face grief and conquer it. Many people are depressed. Many people are having trouble paying their bills. It is a very difficult time, but the energy of God that you have in your heart can see you through all of this. So I want to thank you for listening to me today. I know that Jesus is here with me as well. And I know that he blesses everyone that watches these shows. So thank you for listening to me. I hope that my words have meant something. I hope that they will help guide you to a much happier lifetime. So goodbye. I know that Barry and Bill will be back again next week. And I know that there will be another wonderful message for you. So God bless and farewell. Okay. Now I know what he was going to say.
Yeah.
All right. Next week, we're going to have St. John come through.
Okay.
He was obviously the author or supposed author of one of the Gospels, and he'll have another wonderful message.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave you now. Feel better, get some rest,
So.
and we will talk again next week.
All right.
Goodbye.
There you have it. A very powerful message from St. Luke. Excuse me. I'm not even sure where to go from there. I'm always kind of overwhelmed a little bit by the messages. I never really have anything planned for this part of the show at the end, because it doesn't matter if I write something for it or not. It's just gonna be the way it is. I do have a special prayer request though this week for my friend's mom. Name is Cheryl. She's battling kidney failure right now, and they're badly in need of a donor. I just ask that you keep her in your prayers, and you pray that they find one soon for her. She's a great mom, great wife. If anybody deserves that, it's her for sure. And I just want to say that I really like doing this. I like coming to you every week with these messages, and you can always go to the website I know I keep pushing that website, eternity-speaks.com. All of these weekly videos are up on there. We're on YouTube, Eternity Speaks. Go ahead and tune into that and get our messages. And again, I'm sorry it's a little shorter this week because I'm really really sick this week. So doing the best I can to make it through. God bless, and I'll see everyone next week. Thank you.